Skip Clark, and I am actually sitting in the Wolf Studio today. It's Inner Harbor Waves. It's part of our podcast series. Wait, I got to turn this up a little bit. Hang on.
Got expensive taste, but I'm small town made. That's how daddy raised me. I put the bougie in the back rows. Give me a bonfire and some vino. I like my wine country.
Yeah, a little wine country. You know, you hear that here on the Wolf, but the artist that actually sings that, Hannah Ellis. That's her. Oh, wait a minute, it's the TV. I got to go like this, right? No, that's still the wrong way. There we go. There we go. That's Hannah Ellis, everybody. Go. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's been a little bit, maybe a couple of months, but I do remember you and your husband sitting down with my wife and I to have a little bit of dinner at the Turning Stone in Verona.
Yes, that was so much fun and such a fun show, too.
I know. Being on tour with Carly, I just say, oh, my God. I mean, oh, my God.
Yeah, it's just the best. She is so supportive of me and such a champion of mine. And like, even this past weekend, I was out on the road with her when I had a new song come out just to all the streaming services called Karma on the Rocks. And it was coming out that night. And she literally announced to the crowd during her set, hey guys, Hannah has a song coming out called Karma on the Rocks and you should go download it. Like, you know, what do you do with that?
Who does that?
Like, she's just so legit.
That's it. That's the whole deal. It shows a lot of respect by doing that as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it is so good to see you. Where are you right now?
I am at home right now, which is, you know, a little bit of a change of pace after the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm in my office right now. I was telling you a minute ago, I've got all these fun posters up.
You see the Ryman.
The Ryman, that's right. My mom gave me that when I made my Opry debut.
Which, when was it, in September?
That was September of 2022.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but it was the end of September. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. That's cool. Very cool. And it was in the church, in that building right there.
No, it wasn't. So it's in the Grand Ole Opry House is now over in the Opry.
Right.
Area. Yeah. The Ryman is, it's used as more of just a music venue at this point.
Yeah, but you still call that the church, though.
Oh, she's the mother church forever.
Yeah. And you still have that circle on the floor, because I've actually been in the Ryman. I thought that maybe that's it.
So
the Ryman?
Fun fact, what they did there is they took, that's why there's a circle. They took that circle out of the Ryman and put it into the new Opry House. So where you do the Grand Ole Opry now, that circle is still wood from the Ryman. Yeah. So you're still standing in the same circle that all of those iconic country artists started in. So the Ryman has its own circle, but that one was like, it's a really cool story.
I love it. I love it. Now, you've been doing this for a little bit.
I have.
And you actually, I guess anybody that has a dream and a passion to do what you have done, sooner or later, you end up on The Voice, which you did a bunch of years ago.
That's right.
And how did that go? I don't recall. Was that 2015, 2016?
So it was, yeah, it was 2015.
Yes. Okay.
I guess, well, my episode aired in 2015. So I went out there at the end of 2014. And we were there for 4 weeks and did all of the filming and everything. And in the end, I didn't get a chair turn, which obviously for my pride didn't feel good. But what was crazy is about a week before I did my actual audition, I had gotten a phone call from a publisher in Nashville. And so like nobody really knew I was out there because it's always secretive. And they called me and were offering me a publishing deal. Well, if I had made the show, then the contracts that I had signed would not have allowed me to sign a publishing deal. So it was kind of like a catch-22. So because I didn't make it on the show, I was able to come home and sign a publishing deal. But they still aired my audition. And so I still ended up getting quite a few new fans and followers just from the exposure.
Honest to God, I do recall that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about the publishing side of it. And you know, it sucks, but it doesn't suck.
Right. It all works out. I mean, God has a plan that we don't understand.
Absolutely.
And so it all works out.
And we got a good plan because you're coming to upstate New York.
I'm so excited.
I know. End of October. Make sure you dress warm.
Oh, yeah.
You never know.
And then a parka,
Yeah,
parka.
No, I don't know. End of October, it can go either way. So I'm
Okay.
just saying, but it still should be some color in the leaves and all that. But you'll be at the Wildcat, and that's where we do our showcases. And of course, you've
Oh,
offered to make the trip to Syracuse, and we're giving away tickets on the air for that as we speak. So that's pretty cool. We so look forward to seeing you. Do you bring your husband along, by the way?
he's about half and half on travel because he's a
Okay.
full-time songwriter himself.
Hmm.
So if it works out, he comes with me. But usually during the week, it's harder for him to get away and kind of because he has rights and things like that of his
Sure.
own. But every once in a while, I can sneak him out during the week. But usually, those are the trips that he misses. Boo.
You know, you're you're both in the business.
That's
How
right.
did you guys meet, and then you ended up getting married in the vineyard, right? Down by a
No,
lake?
we got married actually at a place called the Estate at Cherokee
Okay.
Dock,
All
and
right.
it was Reba McEntire's old house.
Yes. You
So she
told
sold,
me about that.
yeah. So she sold her house, and the people that bought it turned it into a wedding venue, and it's
Mhm.
stunning.
Wow. So how did you meet?
So we met. We were across the hall neighbors. Yeah. So I was
I've
in
heard this story, but I want you to tell
yes.
everybody.
So I was in 102 and he was in 109. And we had a next door neighbor. So we all moved into this apartment around the same time, this apartment building, because it was a new apartment building downtown
Mhm.
that was geared towards artists. So it was mainly creatives that lived there. And so my next door neighbor and he's still a very dear friend of ours today. He had a housewarming party and he had invited both of us separately. And he was just like, oh my gosh, you have to meet this guy, Nick. He's so talented. He's so cool, blah, blah, blah. And so you have to kind of know my husband. But he was really new to music at the time and I didn't know that. And so on Impact, in his mind, he was just trying to like blend in and not like make a whole show. And I thought that I was like, he was very standoffish. And I was like, oh, this guy thinks he's above the rest of us. So I meet him and he just says, hi, how are you? And then keeps walking. I was like, oh, so rude. Read the room wrong on that one.
Yeah, but look what happened.
That's right. It all worked out.
Yeah. Now, does he get out and play with you, though? I think he was on the stage with you when you
Yeah.
opened for Carly in Verona. And I know he was there because obviously I met him that night and just a great guy. Tell us a little bit more about you, though. How long have you been playing music?
Oh man, I mean, since I can remember talking, I think my parents are both musical and good singers, and they used to do weddings on the weekend. And so
Uh,
we just grew up in our house singing all the time. And so every home video is me singing. So we did a lot of contests. Me and my older sister sang a lot together. And it wasn't until I was in high school that I was like, oh, wait, this is what I'm like supposed to do, like with my
uh,
life. Like I feel really called to this. And then after that, like at the end of high school, once I made that decision, I kind of went head first and never looked back.
Now, you're a Kentucky girl, right?
Oh yes.
And how was that move when you moved to Nashville?
So I went. So when I told my parents the end of my senior year that I wanted to do music
Hmm.
professionally, and at the time I already had a full ride academic scholarship to the University of Kentucky, and
Nice.
so they were like, well, we are 100% behind you on your musical journey and aspirations. But since you already have college paid for, you've already made it into school, you've already done all this. They're like, we'd really love it if you'd go on to school and we'll kind of help you navigate getting into music. And they did. And so I went on to the
Cool.
University of Kentucky. And so it was a really nice, slow transition, I guess you'd say, to
Okay.
Nashville because I was in college and I would just drive back and forth from Lexington,
It's not that
Kentucky, and
far. Yeah.
a couple times a week. So I was able to kind of get my feet wet and like get to know the town and the community. So when I moved after I graduated, it just it was a little easier. I didn't have like a friend group per se, but I knew people that I
Hmm.
could text and say, "Hey, what are you doing tonight? Is there any shows I should go to?" That at least made that like initial transition a lot easier.
Do you how much compare writing to performing? Is
Hmm.
there a big difference? I mean, writers are like the unknown heroes, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah.
And then you being an artist, you're the one everybody gets to know.
Right.
Actually, the writers are the ones that put you where you end up.
That's right. There's no us without them. And I think that was what was an interesting piece of my journey is
Mhm.
I started songwriting when I was younger, but not anything like seriously, just like, noodling kind of. I was always an artist first. That was always my heart, and that's what I knew my real talent was. But when I moved here to Nashville, I'd been songwriting while I was all through college and stuff. But when I moved here to Nashville, I really dove into the songwriting aspect and just tried to hone that craft and get really good at that and figuring out how I wanted to say it and what I wanted to say. And so once I got my publishing deal in 2015, I wouldn't say I put being an artist on the back burner,
But
but I really, really emphasized and used most of my time to become a great songwriter. Because I mean, the storytelling is what makes country music. Like, we say something in our songs, and I wanted to get good at that aspect of it. And just like you said, I mean, the songwriters are the backbone of
yeah,
this town. And I mean, you can go anywhere in the world and you say you're from Nashville and they're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, because of the songwriting that's here. So it is two totally different things, but there is artistry in songwriting itself. It's just storytelling.
absolutely. Absolutely. Wine Country. Tell us about the
Mhm.
song.
Oh, wine country is so fun.
I raise a pinky.
That's right, a pinky up,
Pinky
just
up.
in case.
Yep.
So it was my last co-write of 2021, and it was my husband Nick and
Mhm.
our friend, and so Clint Lagerberg, and it was Clint's idea. He was like, I had this idea that I thought would be fun for a female, like wine country, like I like my wine
Mhm.
country. And we were like, oh my gosh. And Nick just looks at me and he's like, that's your whole personality. Because it's this, the bougie in the back roads is like
Yeah.
one of my favorite lines ever, because that's really all you need to know to understand me. Like, I'm a girl from a small town in Kentucky. When I go home, I'm going to go fishing with my dad, but I'm going to put a full face of makeup on and I'm going to film the whole thing,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I'm also like this bougie princess who's like, yeah, I bought wine to go fishing with my dad. Like,
Why not?
and so like it's these two, what would be seemingly opposing sides, but as I'm writing the song, it's like, oh, it's about me, blah blah blah. But then I realized, like, I feel like we're all a lot more nuanced than
True.
people give us credit for. Oh, you live in upstate New York, you must be these things,
It
you must
happens.
be here
Yep.
for these
Yep.
teams. And it's like, well,
Yep.
that's not true. There's so many things about you that are unique to you, and
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
can be a little bit of both. There's a little bit of country and city in all of us, I think.
I can tell you this, there's a whole lot of wine country here.
That's
Yeah.
something I did not
In the
realize.
Finger Lakes, which is very close to central New York,
That's
there's so
right.
many different wineries, vineyards. I mean, it's crazy, but
Yeah,
it's
there's wine
crazy in a
country
good
all
way.
over
Yep.
this place. There really is.
That's excellent. Wow, this is great. Tell me, if I was to get in the car and actually drive into your hometown right
Yeah.
now, what would be the first thing I'd see?
The first thing you'd see, oh man. I mean, we have a college there called Campbellsville University.
Okay.
That's like in the main, kind of in that main drag. I would probably send you down our main street, because it is just quintessential, beautifully manicured small town Main Street.
See,
And we have our
that's the
4th of
best.
July parade every year, and like that's where it's at, and it's so cute. I mean, it really is like our Main Street is like exactly what you have in your mind the Main Street of a small town in America would be like.
And what is the little town's name?
Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. All
Yeah.
right, I got it. So
Yeah.
it's it just like like four corners, a street light, stop sign, or a
It's
typical main street?
it's like a typical Main Street. It's not a very big town, 10,000 people maybe. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's just this cute little drive-through area, and we have like our one really cute coffee shop, and like our one little like salon, and like but it's like really cute, like, because it's a college town, it has that like
Oh
a
yeah.
little younger, a little more vibrant
Mhm.
Main Street, where they do have a little boutique, and like it's not like it's not like so like stuck in the past or anything, if that makes sense. It really does
No, I
look
got
like
you.
it's really pretty. I mean, it's
Kind of hip
nice.
too. It's kind of hip too. Because if it's a college town, there's certain things
That's
that
right.
really make it cool, so to
Right,
speak.
exactly.
Even if they use, I don't know if they use the word cool anymore, but
Yeah,
still,
we have this mural that my husband and I love, and it's on the side of one of the like old buildings in the town, and it says Central Kentucky is the future, and it's
mhm.
like supposed to be like kind of how Nashville has the wings, you know, where it's
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
thing
yeah.
people take pictures in front of, but it's so cute, and I just love it. I have a lot of pride for my hometown.
What is real quick? What is one thing that people don't know about you?
Let's think.
All right, let me put it this way. Maybe this will help. If you weren't doing music, what do you think you would be doing?
Oh, well, people do know this about me. I'm
Okay.
an insane foodie.
Ah,
Food is my number one, like, I just love it. I'm so passionate about food and drink. I would say both. Like,
mhm.
I love I love to cook, but I also just like I love food. I love finding cool restaurants and like hearing the stories and trying new food. And if I weren't doing music, I would want to be a food writer.
There
Whatever
we go.
capacity that's in. Food and Wine magazine is like my favorite
I love it.
publication. So like I would probably be doing everything in my power to work for them.
It could be Hannah's hometown food blog.
That's right. That's right. See, there you go.
Yeah, see, that would work. That would
Yeah.
definitely work. What can we look forward to when we see you in October, at the end of October, end of this month, October 26th?
Oh, I'm so excited because we have a brand new song that just came out called Karma on the Rocks. So I'll be
Mhm.
playing that. And then we have a whole lot of new music coming at the top of next year. So I'll be kind of sprinkling in a few things that people haven't heard yet that I'm really, really excited to share.
How important is it that you do something like that? I mean, not only with us here at the Wolf,
Yeah.
but getting out, getting in front of people and throwing some new music out there and then watching the reaction. Is that
I I think it's one of the most important things we do because it our entire livelihood is based on our fans and writing for them and meeting them in their spaces and presenting them with something new and fresh that they haven't heard yet and giving them the chance to feel like they're growing with us. You know, I think that's
Mhm,
what's
mhm.
really fun is it's fun to go, oh my gosh, I heard you play this before it was out, you know, when the music does come out. So I think it's one of my favorite things is to share new music.
Mhm. Now, is there a big difference whether you're doing it acoustically or whether you're doing it with the full band?
You know, I don't think so because
Okay.
I'm a pretty as you've met me, you've seen my
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I'm a pretty high energy person.
no
Uh,
doubt.
and I kind of like to say that I give the same show no matter the audience number, no matter the amount of people on stage with me. I'm going to bring you everything I've got in every single show and I think that by doing that the music always translates.
I know you're very confident in what you do. And when
Thank
I
you.
saw you come out on stage, you sang alongside Carly Pierce.
Yeah.
And I'd be like scared to death. Were you? I mean, you're so confident. You're not nervous, right? You just come out
No,
and do your thing.
it's really funny. Like there are other aspects of this job that I overthink and feel insecure about and am like, is this right? Did I do that right? But the
Mhm.
one place that I've never felt insecure is the stage. I just feel like that's really where that's like my I call it my bread and butter. Like that's what God designed me to do because I feel like I do have an ability to get up there and be unabashedly myself, but also like connect with people on a larger scale somehow.
Mhm, mhm.
I really do feel like that's one of my gifts is creating community. And that's what I see every show as. I see each night as we're in a community right here tonight. We're
Right.
creating one moment, one community, and we're all going to go off and do other things after this night. But like for 30 minutes or this hour, it's just you and me and these songs and whatever stories come out of this night.
I love it. I love it. It's 5:30 on the 26th of October. We're
Yes.
calling it a happy hour because we got Syracuse University football on the big screen that night, and we also got the
Oh,
Bills playing. So
come
you're in for
on.
a good time.
That's
It's a
a good
lot of
night.
fun. The what? Yes, exactly. The Wildcat is a great place. You're gonna love it.
Well,
Dan,
there's a
the owner.
wildcat, and I'm a wildcat, so
Real
That's
Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky Wildcats. That's
Listen to
right.
you. My high school, I'm a Wildcat.
Ah, look at us.
So I went to West Genesee High School, which is a local school, obviously, here, but
Yeah.
we were known as the Wildcats,
Yeah.
the Kentucky Wildcats, and we're going to be at the Wildcat.
I love it. I love it.
It's a whole lot of Wildcats. Yeah. Hannah Ellis, thanks for hanging out for a few minutes. We are so looking forward to seeing you again. The date is October 26th, and we're giving away the only way in is to win your way in. We packed the house, and we'll be doing that right up to the 25th or 26th, even. So, and safe travels when you make your way in this direction. And looking forward to seeing you. Oh, before I let you go, because Joe commented on here and said her husband is such a great musician. So can you, I know this is about Hannah Ellis, but give us five.
I'd love to.
No, give us 5 facts about your husband.
First of all, fact number 1, his artist name or his real name, whatever, is Nick Wayne. So you can look him up anywhere you listen to music, and he has incredible music out. Number 2, he's a very good golfer. Very good golfer. Number 3, he is like kind of he's my Swiss Army knife. When he goes out on the road with me, he plays music for me, sings with me, helps me run merch, does all of the things, is a total G for that. How many did you say?
5. Got 2 more.
Okay, 2 more. He has the best hair, which is hard to say because I have pretty good hair.
Yeah, guys usually don't really worry about their hair too much, but.
And then the other thing I would say is he has like one of because I love food and drink so much. He has like one of the most fun palates because he can taste. He's a big whiskey and bourbon guy.
Okay.
He can just taste flavors and things, and yet at the same time he loves like divey food that reminds you of being a child. So I just think like he's so much fun to travel with. Like the two of us, when we travel together and eat all over the planet, we just have a blast.
I know, you being a foodie and him loving the food. It's kind
of it would be really tough if he were like super picky. That would be a bummer.
And real quick, we're talking about food. What's his favorite meal there at the house? What do you like to cook for him? Or is it all over the place?
His favorite meal that I make, and I don't do it very often because it's really, really heavy, but I do an Italian pot roast over a Parmesan risotto. And it's pretty phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
It's phenomenal. I'll be over. Cool. I love it.
It's by far his favorite thing that I make. But hey, I make a good meatloaf. That's what I'm making tonight. That's pretty good too.
Look at you. You got some time. You got some downtime at home.
That's right.
So you must really enjoy that. And by cooking, you're enjoying that time.
Exactly.
So. Hannah Ellis, thanks for just coming out for a few minutes today. You're in Nashville, I'm in Syracuse, and we're looking forward to seeing you October 26th. The Wildcat. You're a Wildcat. I'm a Wildcat. We'll be at the Wildcat October 26th, and the only way in is to listen to The Wolf and win your way in. And thank you for coming on Inner Harbor Waves with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Skip, for having me.
You're awesome. Stay right there.